Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. On this channel, we've gone over a lot of Disney Vacation Club basics, so now it's time to put together all of that knowledge and think big picture. Now that we all have a baseline understanding of DVC, is Disney Vacation Club right for you? Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much if you're a subscriber and a returning viewer. I really appreciate your support. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Jacqueline. We mostly talk about Disney Vacation Club as well as Walt Disney World on this channel, but occasionally sprinkle in a few other Disney-related videos. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you subscribe and stick around. Purchasing Disney Vacation Club is a big decision, and of course this is not going to be objective. Your subjective opinion matters. Here's a list of 9 things I think subjectively are important. If you can answer yes to all of these criteria, then it sounds like, to me, Disney Vacation Club is a good fit for you. The first criteria. Currently, without owning DVC, you vacation at Walt Disney World approximately every year, or at the very least every other year. And importantly, you will be maintaining this vacation habit for the foreseeable future. Since you'll be the one purchasing the contract, ideally this means that you will continue to vacation to Walt Disney World for the foreseeable future. However, note that it's totally feasible for you to intend to gift this deed to your children or a friend knowing that they will make great use of it, say maybe in 15 years' time. While of course you can sell your contract on the resale market, there is no guarantee that you will make a profit or even necessarily make your money back. To get the true value out of your Disney Vacation Club contract, it really should be used for Disney vacations. And even if you are heavily considering resale in the future, you definitely want to use your contract at least through its break-even point. There are a lot of ways to calculate a break-even point, and we will go over some of those in a future video, but the gist essentially is that you will get your money's worth out of the contract. Because there is a lot of variability in the way break-even points are calculated, the results, of course, are also variable. But know that in general, on the low end, your break-even point will probably be somewhere around 8 years, and it's very normal to see break-even points around 10 years, 12 years, or even 15 years. It benefits you to utilize your Disney Vacation Club contract past its break-even point, so you want to be sure that your vacation habits will be sustained in the future past that time. Criteria number 2, you care about having those extra home amenities. Having in-room laundry and a kitchen makes your trip way less stressful, and that's something that you're willing to pay for access to. You don't view these things as just a nice bonus, it really changes fundamentally the way you vacation, and that is something you desire. These extra home-like amenities are close to essential for you, and that is something you're willing to pay for. Criteria number 3, you want your entire travel party to be able to stay in the same room. At all Disney hotels, when you're booking multiple rooms, you can add in a request to have your rooms be next to each other. And Disney tries their best to accommodate these, but it can't always happen, and it's generally not guaranteed. With DVC, however, you could buy a contract large enough to book a 2-bedroom villa or even a 3-bedroom villa to ensure that your travel party can stay together. Now, this criteria won't apply to everyone depending on what your travel party will be like. For example, I mostly only travel to Walt Disney World with one other person, my partner, so this isn't a huge consideration for me. But if you do have a larger travel party, this may be a huge motivating factor to purchasing DVC for you. And when I say larger, that is super variable. So even though those grand villas sleep up to 12 adults with one child under 3 in a crib, you don't necessarily need to think you'll be traveling with 12 people to know you would make good use out of a 3-bedroom villa. A family of 5, for example, with teenagers or even grown children may make great use of a 3-bedroom villa. This way, everyone has their own space and you can spread out and not feel like you're crammed in on top of each other. So consider what's right for your party, but generally speaking, larger parties who want to stay together may find DVC to be particularly valuable to them. Criteria 4, you primarily stay at deluxe resorts. You are not happy staying at value resorts at all or off property. That is not an option to you. Maybe you're fine with moderate resorts, but it's not something you make a habit of, and certainly you would always prefer deluxe resorts. The value and savings in Disney Vacation Club really only truly works out if you would be paying to stay in a deluxe resort anyway if you didn't own DVC. You can make an argument that if you were staying at moderate resorts at the rack rate price that you would probably break even compared to DVC, but that certainly isn't savings. So monetarily, to get that value from DVC, you're going to need to be the type of person and travel party who normally already book deluxe resorts. The next criteria is that you want that certainty in locking in your accommodations for future vacations. Annual dues vary and will almost certainly increase over time, but by purchasing Disney Vacation Club, you are essentially committing to paying those annual dues every year in exchange for your accommodations. This is distinctly different than just booking a hotel, as that is way more flexible than something like annual dues on a timeshare. Also, when booking a hotel, you can pretty easily decide just to not do that and not go to Walt Disney World that year, or maybe book a way different type of hotel. Maybe you typically stay at deluxe resorts, but On one off year, you decide, hey, let's try a Marriott down the road. That kind of flexibility really does not work with Disney Vacation Club very well. You can bank your points for the next year if you decide not to go a year, or you can even go ahead and rent out your points through the resale market, but you still owe annual dues, and you can't really just get out of that if you don't feel like it. So that certainty of your accommodations is both the accommodations, but also the price that is attached to it. And when deciding if you're fine with that certainty, don't forget to factor in the cost of your tickets and your transportation down to Walt Disney World as well. Those, of course, will change, and it's not worth trying to calculate that out per se, but just knowing in your head that, hey, if we plan on going to Walt Disney World every year and we'll pay for our accommodations with points by purchasing this DVC contract, you still have costs coming to you by way of tickets to the park or annual passes, depending on which you prefer, and then however you're going to get to Disney World, be that driving or flying. So by locking in that certainty of your accommodations, you're also sort of locking in extra costs related to getting to Walt Disney World and then theme park tickets. So just know that the rest of your trip will not necessarily be free since your accommodations are already covered. The next criteria, and this is a big one, you are a planner. Disney Vacation Club does not favor spontaneity. You will have no problems being on top of that 11-month home resort booking window. You don't mind keeping track of your banking date because you're such a planner. And you are confident that when you have banked points in your vacation points pot that you will use those before your other points to make sure nothing ever expires. While you can snag last-minute reservations through Disney Vacation Club, it'll be a little bit difficult and you'll have to be pretty flexible, which will almost certainly result in you doing a split stay. DVC favors those who plan well in advance. If that sounds miserable to you, DVC may not be right for you. 7. You have tried before you buy. Nothing replaces real-life experience. While I'm so appreciative of all the amazing YouTubers and bloggers who go through Disney Vacation Club rooms and document that all and put it on the internet for us to see, that is not the same as you personally experiencing it. If you're a detail-oriented person, it's going to be hard for you to know what details will bother you until you experience them yourself. Other people simply may not pick up on this or put it in their vlogs or blogs at all. Until you're there in person, it will be hard for you to judge those minute details that might drive you crazy, like maybe you hate the layout of the bathroom, maybe you hate how far your rental car will have to be parked away from the actual Disney Vacation Club villas. There are a lot of amazing resources online, and it is possible to find out about a lot of nitpicky details for the DVC resorts. But in my opinion, it is just so difficult to accurately judge how you personally will react to that space, that layout, all of these things until you have literally experienced it yourself. So rent some DVC points and stay there in your next Walt Disney World trip. 8. This will be unpopular, but I personally really believe you have to be in a strong financial position to buy DVC. What I mean by this is ideally you'll be able to purchase that contract either fully or almost fully in cash. You should also be in the financial position such that your annual dues will not present any financial burden or hardship. I've already done a video on the hidden cost of DVC, which talks about how your annual dues will add up over time. Go ahead and check out that video to be prepared for the long-term cost of the contract. Now, on this channel, we have not yet gone over financing a DVC purchase. I am planning on covering that in the future, but the gist is that typically it's a really bad deal. Any potential savings you would incur from DVC are almost always wiped out by that insane interest. Now, paying that interest to have access to DVC and breaking even monetarily might not sound bad, but that's a huge pot of money that's being sucked up into Disney Vacation Club when you could instead be investing it and letting it grow. This presents a huge opportunity cost. And if you're not in the financial position to minimize that opportunity cost by paying for your contract in cash, this may not be the most wise decision for you. The last criteria is that you have done your research. You understand the jargon. You know the ins and outs of DVC. You have thought long and hard about your home resort, your use year, and how many points you want to buy. You have assessed your financial situation and figured all of those details out to make this work. You know the pros and cons of buying directly through Disney versus on the resale market, and you've decided what makes the most sense for you. This is a tens of thousands of dollar decision, so you absolutely should know all of the ins and outs and feel very confident about moving forward before deciding to do so. Overall, I personally do think vacations are very necessary. I don't think we can be productive, happy human beings without taking some time for ourselves. In light of that philosophy, if Disney is your preferred vacation, then on the surface, absolutely Disney Vacation Club may make sense for you. On the other hand, I like comparing DVC to a luxury car. While owning a car may be mandatory for you to get through your life, just like I think vacations are mandatory for us to be happy, healthy human beings, you don't necessarily need that top-of-the-line, super fancy luxury model car. But if you've done your homework and you know that purchasing that luxury car will bring joy that is personally worth it to you, and equally important, you know that purchasing that luxury car will not put you in any financial hardships, then great, maybe it is totally worth it for you. Outside of that metaphor, a standard vacation is not at all the same to you as a Walt Disney World vacation where your accommodations are booked through Disney Vacation Club. And if you've gone through all of these criteria and all of your considerations and DVC makes sense for you, then great, absolutely get DVC. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Ring the bell icon to get notifications anytime I post new videos. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers, and any and all interactions with this video are super helpful. Interactions are how the YouTube algorithm notices me and my channel and helps promote me to other viewers that may be interested. So any interactions I really appreciate. If you want to chat on other platforms, go ahead and find me on Twitter and Instagram at PixieDustPhD. What other criteria do you consider when trying to figure out if Disney Vacation Club is right for you? Let me know what else I should be thinking about, all those criteria that I missed, in the comments down below. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely magical, and we'll see you next time at PixieDustPhD.